Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about understanding null, undefined and type coercion in JavaScript. I will cover definitions, differences and practical examples with live debugging. Let's start with understanding undefined. Undefined is a primitive value automatically assigned to variable that have been declared but not initialized. Functions return undefined when they don't explicitly return a value. Below are few examples for undefined. Example 1. Variable declaration without initialization. So here I have used let x and then writing console.log x. It will output undefined. The next example, second example is function without a return statement. Function example, it has some body and then at last we are calling this function writing console.log example output undefined. Let's run this code in Visual Studio Code and see the output. Let me run the same code which we have taken as example. So this is the first code I have pasted here. Let me click on run and debug so that we can see the live debugging how it is working. So here you can see it is showing undefined. Let me press F11 and here you can see it is printed undefined in debug console. So this is the first example where variable declaration without initialization is printing undefined. Let's take the second example which we have taken when function is returning undefined without a return statement. So this is the code. Now let me run it. So here we can check this variable is defined. It is having value 5, but this function is not returning anything, or we can say that this function is without a return statement. So the call of this function will return undefined. See here, right now in debug console, nothing is written. Let's check what happened. Yeah, so you can see after console.log and inside it I'm calling this example function and it is writing undefined. So in this way, it is returning undefined. Now let's move towards. Now let's move. Now let's move towards another example. That is understanding null. Null is an intentional absence of any object value. It is often used to signify no value or empty. It is assigned explicitly. Understanding null examples. So here we can take few examples to understand null properly. The first example is assigning null. So here we are taking a variable let c equal to null and then writing console.log c and it will output null. Second example is checking for null. So here we are just putting let d equal to null and saying if d triple equal to null, then writing console.log null, and obviously it will write that d is null. Let's run that as well. Okay, let's run this code and see if it is printing console.log or not. So see, it is saying the right now it is undefined. Okay, but as soon as it will be assigned to null, now you can see it is saying null because explicitly it has been assigned. Now if we are comparing if d triple equal to null, then we are saying control console.log d is null. So till now we have understood null and undefined. Let's move towards type coercion. So what is the type coercion? Type coercion is a process where JavaScript automatically converts one data type to another data type. This can happen implicitly, that is automatically by JavaScript, or explicitly forced by developer. Type coercion examples. Let's take the first example. Example 1 is implicit type conversion, where we are writing console.log 5 plus 1, output is 51, and second line is console.log string 5 minus 1, output is 4. In this case, JavaScript converts the number 1 to a string and concatenate it, while in the second case, it converts the string 5 to a number and performs subtraction. So here you can see that when we are using the operator plus operator, then a string is used, means number is being converted to a string. But when we are using subtraction, then in that case it is converting a string to integer or a string to number. Let's take another example of type coercion, where we can do explicit type conversion. Here we can write something like console.log, and then we can call explicit function like number. Then it will output number. If we will write console.log string 123, then it will log a string. Okay, let's run that code in Visual Studio Code and see the example. So I'm going to run it, and here you can see, yeah, I'm just moving it. Here you can see it has printed 51 and 4. So in case when we are passing 5 as a string and using add operator and then 1, in that case 1 is being passed to a string and output is 51. But when we are using subtraction operator, in that case 5 is being converted to number and then subtraction is being performed, that's why output is 4. So till now we have understood about the undefined, null, and type coercion in JavaScript. Now let's understand about common pitfalls and best practices. So let's take one of the issue. When we compare value with double equal to sign, which allows type coercion, leads to unexpected result. So what is the resolution? The resolution is use strict equality. Use strict equality, that is triple equal to sign, to prevent JavaScript from automatically coercing the types. So here is the example, code example. Here I am writing console.log and I am using null double equal to sign and I am checking undefined, and it will be true. Do you know why? Have you ever thought? Because it's due to type coercion. Because behind the scene type coercion is being happened, and that's why it is true. But if I write console.log and null triple equal to operator, that is strict equality, I'm checking undefined, in that case it will be false because there is no type coercion, and null and undefined are different types, so they cannot be same. So we should be always cautious about the equal to sign as well when we are comparing two values, that if required, always try to use a strict equality unless and until it is absolute necessary to use double equal to sign. Thank you.